Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukeness Monster. Today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars Black Series Clone Commander Jesse, or better known as ARC Trooper Jesse, because I believe he was never actually a commander in the show, so interesting naming convention here. But looking at the box, he is looking really cool. We do have this nice 3D render on the front, and one thing I gotta say about the plastic-free packaging is the front looks super clean. I love the seamless look here between like the bottom Clone Wars logo all the way up to the top with that glossy Black Series logo. It looks really, really nice, and that mixed with the yellow color, it comes out for a nice looking box. Flipping around to the side, we can see that we have this amazing artwork of ARC Trooper Jesse here. Now, it's interesting, they did give him the accurate Phase 2 helmet, which here they actually gave him the ARC Trooper helmet, but they did give him the accurate Phase 2 helmet, but they gave him a rangefinder, which is inaccurate. So interesting to see there. Flipping around to the back, it is actually number 12 in the Clone Wars line, and we do have that same 3D render here. Go ahead and pause and read the back if you would like. But flipping around to the side, my favorite part of Plastic Free, we have this nice little diagram here on the side, which shows all of the accessories, and I love how that came out, and I really like the look of that, and it's something I wish they would continue onto the plastic boxes, but it's not something that they've really done, which is unfortunate. But yeah, let's go ahead, get this guy open, and see what he looks like. Alrighty, so we have Jesse out of the box, and he is looking really, really good apart from the helmet. Now, I will get into the helmet just a little bit. That is a whole section of this video, but I gotta say, this guy looks incredible. I love all the paint apps, and I love the sculpting that has gone into this ARC Trooper armor. Some of the best sculpting Black Series has ever done, and while this is reuse, it still is great reuse, and it looks incredible. So let's go ahead, get him off the spinny stand, and take a closer look. So taking a close look at this figure, he does have this really, really nice Republic insignia on the helmet, but again, unfortunately this is the ARC Trooper helmet, which is inaccurate to the show. He should have a standard Phase 2 helmet, which does not have the fin. It has a different shaped mouthpiece, and it doesn't have the rangefinder, so a little disappointing about that, but I do love this Republic insignia, and I think it turned out pretty well. Now, I do have a little bit of a paint chip on mine, right towards the top of the helmet. I'll get a little bit closer here so you can see. But there's a paint chip there, and it looks kind of obvious, which I'm a little disappointed about, but I think I'm going to be swapping out this helmet anyway, so I'm not too worried. Anyway, what really shines is when you take the helmet off. This Tamora Morrison face sculpt is incredible. Taking a look at it here, that tattoo is incredible, and this is one of the dullest faces I've ever seen in a good way, and by that I mean there's no face shine at all compared to a lot of Black Series figures. They've got really shiny faces, and this one looks just outstanding. They definitely didn't forget the matte coat of the factory this time, because it's one of the least shiny faces I've ever seen, which is really, really nice. But this is also just a great Tamora Morrison head sculpt, and I'm loving how this thing turned out. And apart from the helmet, this is a 10 out of 10 figure. I have to say, like, this right here is a 10 out of 10. I don't need the helmet for it to be a 10 out of 10, but, like, this figure is incredible. Paint apps are great. It looks really, really good without this helmet, but the problem is he should have a helmet, and again, I'll get into that in just a second. Flipping around to the back here, we do have this nice backpack. It is glued on, you can't take it off, and it is attached to this pauldron, which looks incredible. I love how big and bulky that makes him look. We also have the cool gauntlets here with some nice paint apps. Going down to the legs, super nice knee pads here, great design as well. And we do have this blue, which is supposed to wrap all the way around, and unfortunately it doesn't. So that's a little bit of a shame, but overall, really good figure so far. Now, as far as articulation goes, it is on the ARC Trooper body, so it's going to have the exact same articulation as that, but there is 2 ball joints at the top of the head and the bottom of the neck, so great range of motion there. The arm pads can go all the way up into a T-pose, and the shoulder pad actually goes over the neck, so it'll fit. Arms can also go all the way around, but the pauldron does get in the way. Elbows can get a little past 90, and then the wrists do have a swivel, as well as a horizontal hinge on the left wrist and a vertical hinge on the right wrist. He's got a ton of range of motion with the ball joint at the ab crunch there, and the legs do have difficulty kicking up just because of the comma piece, which is in the way, but the knees can get well past 90, which is good. They can spread out a decent amount as well, but again, the comma piece does get in the way. the feet have rockers as well as standard pivots. So yeah, pretty good figure overall, articulation wise. Now, the first figure I want to compare this to is, of course, the custom Phase 2 Jesse that I have, and this one is very accurate, and I gotta say, these two figures are very similar. Now, this one does have the blue that wraps all the way around, and I wish that this one had the blue that wraps all the way around, but it's not a huge deal. But the big kicker on this guy is the helmet. He does have the Phase 2 helmet, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to pop this guy off. Now, I'll have to remove the head from it, because the head is glued on the inside there, but I'll probably put this helmet on him, and I'll just add the extra blue to the helmet that it needs. But I think that would really round up this figure and make this one of the best Black Series releases with this standard Phase 2 helmet. Anyway, first up for comparisons, we do have Season 7 Ahsoka on the right, and we have Captain Rex on the left. These three are together in the show a lot, and they look great together here on display, so I cannot wait to put these all three on the shelf together, because they're going to look great. Next up, we actually do have Season 1 through 3 Clone Wars Anakin on the right, and we have Season 7 Darth Maul on the left. Looking great here. Now, obviously, all these characters interacted in the show, so I had to get them on display here for the comparison, and they look great. And next up here, we do have ARC Trooper Echo on the right, and we have Hardcase on the left. Now, this is a custom Hardcase that I do own, and it is looking really, really good. Hardcase is one of my favorites here, and he's looking great next to Jesse. And I think it's definitely interesting to compare Echo and Jesse here, because they are the exact same mold, but there's quite a bit different, especially starting off with the shade of blue. The blue is a little bit different between the two figures, but I think the big difference is that Echo here does not have weathering. He has smooth, clean lines, whereas Jesse has the battle-damaged paint. So I'm not sure which one I like more. I think I like them equally, and I think they both kind of fit the character. So it's quite interesting, but I think all three of these guys look great together. And, you know, you got to support the boys in blue with the 501st here. They're looking amazing. Now, of course, Jesse was leading a bunch of 501sts and 332nds in Season 7 of the Clone Wars, so we have them here. We have the Archive 501st on the left, and we do have the 332nd on the right, and they are looking outstanding together. I gotta say, I'm really loving these new clone bodies by Hasbro here. So this Archive 501st is not the best, but it still looks great on display. I think the biggest difference is the shade of blue is a little bit different, but overall, they all three, again, look great together, and Jesse's just another great way to expand your 501st army. Next up, we do have the 501st Jet Trooper on the left, as well as the custom Jesse we just saw a little while ago on the right. And so, you know, it's kind of hard to compare these two Jessies because they're the same character, so you would never see them together.